Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending today's Trimble University on Penmap for Android. My name is Jeff Blanton. I'm a project manager here for Trimble. And today I'm going to be giving an overview of Penmap for Android. And over the next few months, we're going to continue to do more of these sessions, Trimble U sessions, to get into more specifics of Trimble U. And in between those sessions, we're going to meet with dealers and customers one-on-one and gather some more feedback. So with that being said, what is Trimble Penmap? Penmap is a surveying software application that you run on your Android device. Not only survey, but there's also some integrated GIS workflows as well. Surveyors can collect points and codes like they're used to, or you can import a GIS schema to collect features and attributes, if that's what your clients need. Survey types, Penmap can be used on control surveys, topographic surveys, stakeout surveys, just to name a few. Penmap also has an interactive map. You can work right off that map and create points, lines, using the Kogo tools that are within Penmap itself. Penmap also works well with Catalyst and the DA1 antenna with very minimal setup required. Now, Catalyst is a subscription is sold separately from Penmap, or if you have your own existing Trimble R-Series receivers, you can match it up with one of those and bring your own VRS network as well. So some of the key takeaways that we have here for Penmap is, one is to bring your own Android device, such as a mobile phone or an Android tablet, and Catalyst support, which allows for on-demand, precise positioning. Some of the components included in your subscription with Penmap, obviously the Penmap, the Android application itself, which you can be downloaded from the Google Play Store. Penmap Project Manager. The Project Manager, this is where you set up your projects, coordinate systems, import any source files such as CSVs, shapefiles, or DXF, DWGs to use as background maps in your projects. You can create your GIS schemas if you have one in the Project Manager. Set up your team members as well. Along with your subscription, you're also going to get Trimble Connect. Here you'll share your data files. Data is stored in the cloud. You can send out your project files, your templates that you created with Project Manager via the cloud, and share those across your staff. So couple of the markets that we're currently looking at where we feel Penmap is a good fit as a supervisory tool and entry-level businesses. So I'll start with the supervisor's tool. Prior to me joining Trimble, just a little over 2 years ago now, I worked as a surveyor for 25 years. And as a survey manager and a crew coordinator, there was always times that I needed to go out in the field and do some QA, QC checks on stakes that were put in the ground before construction started, or a contractor called and he had some problems, or I didn't think something was right. I didn't have anyone in the office, so I'd run out and I would take some check shots on the stakes, or I would need to go out and check control for a project. There's many QA, QC workflows that survey managers could benefit with Penmap to get their work done. A fill-in tool. Inevitably, a contractor is going to call you and he needs somebody on site right now. You don't have anyone in the office to do the work. But you have Penmaps on your Android device. You have an antenna in the office, and you can send someone out from the office or go out and do the work yourself. Many times, crews go out and do a topo survey and they miss the big section. You just need to go out in the field and instead of tying up your field crews, you can go run out and fill in that work using Penmap. And there's times when these situations come up. Looking for equipment in the office is very time consuming. You usually don't have stuff just sitting around because it's out making money. So it's not very cost effective and very, very time consuming. And not every project requires a high-end equipment to do the work. Some other markets that we've highlighted here are some high precision GIS and the energy distribution. I'll go into a little more detail about the higher accuracy GIS. As I mentioned before with the Penmap Project Manager, which I'll give you a demo of how that works at the end of this. You can import, if your client already has a database that they provide to you, you can import that in, make modifications, save that as a template, and send that out to your field crews. As you can see here, when they're collecting data, they'll get an attribution list to fill out. Or you can, if the client doesn't have a database already and they want you to start something from scratch, you can create that from scratch, a schema in the Project Manager, and import that into your project as well, or use the templates to set up your projects for your field crew. Oh, I think I jumped ahead here. Let me back up a little bit. I also want to mention small firms. A number of small firms don't have the capital to get started with expensive equipment. If I was getting started, Penmap paired with Trimble Catalyst would be a low-cost way of getting started up and then building my clientele from there. And as I build my clientele, get more projects, I can start adding more equipment. Energy distribution, excuse me, such as oil and gas, transmission, water lines, are ideal spots. Many of these companies do not have or do have in-house staff. They're not surveyors, but they are. They do survey-related work, and they do some GIS data collection. Examples of this would be some midstream work where you need to go out and locate all your environmental features, or you need to do a well pad topo. Those topos are generally 100 feet by 100 feet. Penmap is an excellent tool to do some of those smaller jobs. Preliminary route design. You go out, find your property lines, locate your property corners, send that back into the design team so they know what route to follow or what might be hindering their designs. With that, they can also collect the GIS, as I mentioned before, and store the locations and the attributes along with the point positions. Municipalities. Over my career, I did a tremendous amount of mapping for counties, cities, military bases, and universities, where some of the high-end equipment is just too much to carry around. There's a lot of areas where you can't use GNSS, where Penmap you could set yourself a couple control points, get your total station out and set on those control points, collect the areas that are obstructed by the hostile environment. As I mentioned, you can pair Trimble Penmap with Catalyst. Now, this isn't required. with your subscription, you can bring in your own receivers, but it works well. You can pair it with Trimble Catalyst. With this workflow, you can scale up and down. So if you have seasonal projects, you just purchase 6 months subscription, or you can buy a year, and to help you save money in the long run. As I mentioned, Penmap is compatible with your Trimble R-Series receiver. Now, if with any R-Series receiver, as long as it has Bluetooth, you can set up your own VRS network as well in Penmap, so you're not tied to just the VRS Now network. So to recap, I want to go over some of the benefits. So for like a small firm who's wanting to get started up, Penmap gives you a low cost of entry, either with Catalyst or with if you have your own receivers and you prefer just to have a Penmap subscription, use your own receivers. Crossover survey and GIS. Penmap does all the basic survey functions very well. As I mentioned, you can do control surveys. You can set up and do topo surveys. You can just do strictly point names and codes. You can also, or you can just switch easily into a GIS. You can set up attribution or a schema in the field on the device as well if it's called for. As I mentioned before, bring your own device, or if you would rather have something more rugged, you could pair that with Penmap with one of the TDS 100 handhelds. So why would I want to use Penmap over some other software? As I mentioned, I spent a lot of time in the field doing many different types of mapping projects and surveying projects and GIS projects. And one of the things that we found, it was very difficult translating survey to GIS and GIS to survey. It tended to be a real pain. The company I worked for, we even designed our own proprietary software that didn't work really well. We couldn't get precise positions. We would have to go back out and do one pass with submeter, then do another pass with RTK, marry up those coordinates. It was very cumbersome and very expensive, not very efficient to do it this way. And then using the mapping softwares that are available was basically the same workflow. Surveyors tend not to like to work with the mapping softwares and hardware as much. And as I mentioned earlier, with Penmap, I can, in areas where I can't get GNSS, I can quickly switch to a control survey, set myself some control points, and get my total station out. Whereas I couldn't really do that with Teraflex. Access is a fantastic program, but it can be very cumbersome when you're trying to collect GIS data. The setup can be a little messy. In Access itself, the screens are a little messy and hard to use, and getting the data in and out is not as smooth as it is here with Penmap. With Penmap, I can easily switch from just a straight survey workflow and back into a GIS workflow if it calls for it. The price for Penmap is relatively low, especially for surveyors that are just getting into GIS work. I know more and more surveyors are starting to cross the line over into GIS data collection, and they also want the accuracy that comes along with it. And clients more and more are requiring the survey grade accuracies with their GIS data collection. this is a perfect fit for the surveyor. What happened to our network connection? Are we still on? Okay.
I'm back.
Okay. Sorry for that. So to order Penmap, Penmap's going to be stored, will be available in the Trimble store. Dealers will go to the store, place an order for the number of subscriptions they would like to have. Once that order has been processed, it will be stored in your virtual warehouse, and your standard discount will be applied at that point. When the customer is ready to buy a subscription, you'll just assign that a subscription or whatever number they're looking for to that customer. They'll get an email notification that their subscription is ready for them to activate. And once they activate that subscription, that's when their time will begin for the amount that they have selected from a month to a year. Pricing, Penmap's subscription is $50 a month. If you pair that with the Precision Accuracy Trimble Catalyst, that's going to be $400 a month. Or like I said, if you just want to make use of the equipment that you already have sitting in the office, then $50 a month is a pretty fair price for being able to do the amount of work that you can do with Penmap. So with that, I will give you a run through on how this looks. So as I mentioned, Penmap comes with 3 components. Oh, wrong one. Here it is. So here you'll see, this is my Android phone. I have a Galaxy S8 or S7. Here we have the Trimble Penmap Project Manager, and then here we have our Trimble Connect. So when you first start your subscription, Trimble Connect or the Penmap Project Manager is going to ask you to set up a Trimble Connect folder. Underneath that folder is where you store all your projects. You can see here's your Penmap. Underneath this is all my projects. In my projects, I have results files. I have the template that was created to create that job, and Penmap uses a PDT file, which I'll show you in a minute how that works. Once you've set up your project, it runs through a process, and the PDT file is stored. When you set up a project, a to-do is created, and if you add users, team members to that project, they will get an email alert telling them that there's a project ready for them to download and work on. Also within Connect, you can add team members. You can invite members to your organization or your project. And then you can go into your settings. You can leave the project if you're no longer working on it. Send out email notifications. So that's a little bit about Trimble Connect. So this is a Penmap Project Manager, and as I mentioned before, when you first start this up, it's going to ask you to set up this Trimble Connect projects. Right here, I only have one project set up in here right now. I'll just go ahead and set up a new one. One to give it a description, and then here you select what server you want to have your information stored on. I'm going to select North America. This is going to create my project folder in Trimble Connect. And you can see right underneath here, I don't have any projects, but if I come back to Trimble Connect, I have my new project right here. So now I want to start a new project with Trimble Connect. The templates, these templates, you have to use the template with this, but you don't have to use the attributes in field. Penmap comes with these two default templates. I'm going to use this example one for right now to set up this project, and it walks you through tab by tab. The next tab is your coordinate system, where I'll set up my coordinate system. This is where I will load up background files if I have a shapefile or a DXF DWG drawing, a CSV file that I want to use as a background map, or I have control points I want to upload. This is where I would browse and upload those control points. Well, I'm not going to add points. I get a warning if I don't load up anything. So here, if I have more team members added into my organization, I could add them into the project right here. I'll submit that, and the project manager will process that information and create a PDT file for me to use in the field. Once that has been created, I'll get an email alert stating that the new project has been set up, and all the team members that I had added will get an email as well. So now I'll go over to Penmap itself. When I open it, the first time I open it, automatically syncs. It looks for new project folders, but since I have it open already, I just simply hit the cloud button and it will sync and look for that project. Oh, really, I'm not online. I'll try it again. There we go. So now you can see that my project has arrived on my device. So if I was out in the field, there's no need to go to the office or fire up my laptop and download something to my data collector. I just touch and hold on the project, and I want to download. I'll download that to my device. And once that's finished downloading, I can open that up. And then I'm going to start my GPS. And then we're off and running. So I'm going to go back to the that's how we set up a project. So I'm going to go back to the Penmap Project Manager and show you how I would set up a template. So underneath the icon where your user information is, there's a Trimble Connect project settings. You go into these settings, and you can see I'm in this project that I set up already. I can add my team members right here. If I have someone that's already has a Trimble ID, is in the organization, I can just simply put their email address in here. If not, then I'll add their name, email address, add them to the available users. To create a template, I'll go into the Templates tab, hit Create. If I have an existing template already, I can just add that into here. Most likely, people just starting out aren't going to have templates already created. I'm going to just give it a simple name, create the template. Something I haven't talked about yet is this iFeature editor, but I'll go over that here in a minute. So I want to create a data schema. So I click on Create Schema. My schema editor pops up here. I'm just going to create a couple from scratch. I'm going to add a new table. I'm going to call it a sanitary manhole. Give it a point name, and then from there I can add fields to that. Material. Choose what kind of characters it's going to have, like that. So here I'm going to select that, and then if I want to add a list to that, I'm going to put that here. Add that. I don't want to limit it. Add that as well. Then I want to add another field. Let's just do depth. I want that to be a decimal. Make it a double. Save that as well. We're going to add one more, another field here, or feature. It's called sanitary pipe. I'm going to make that a line feature. Add that. Give it a couple attributes. Type size. Let's make that an integer. Okay. You do have the ability to add some automatic fields such as date and time and make those read only. So if you want to monitor how much data and the time your crews are collecting, you can add that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. That was pretty fast. I'll exit out of the project manager. So what the I features are, they're like your features. It's like kind of like a feature code library. So I'm going to go ahead and add a couple I features, which I'll show you the I features on in the application itself as well. So I'm going to do a sanitary manhole. I can pick a page. The page is how you can set up different pages so you can categorize all your features. So I'm going to put this under sanitary. So as page, my feature type is a point, and then you can see that if I go to the GIS and add that the feature that I just created in the editor to the manhole, then it's going to use those attributes I set up. It's a point, and I can add a layer if I want. I'm just going to use the default layer and give it a point style. Save that, and then I'm going to add another one for the line. Put it onto the same page. Now this is the line, and you'll see that the line features show up under my GIS. Save that. And I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to save this template. Okay, now underneath the demo, I'm going to open that up. I'm going to create another project. And then I'm going to choose the template that I just created right here. So I'll start up again. Give this a second to run through and process the file. It's ready to go. So now I'm going to come back to my device, close out the project I was in. And while I'm waiting on this to sync, I'm going to go over some of the settings here. We have some of the general settings. You can switch languages, your units of measure, the library. Underneath the system, you can enable your Android device so it won't turn off while you're working on it, or won't go to a black screen. You can change your touch sensitivity here. A new project hasn't shown up yet. The connection here is not very good today. There we go. Oop, that's not the right project. So here, I jumped ahead. Once I've completed my project, I can upload that up to the cloud. The office users will get an email alert that the new project is ready for review and download. Here's the one I meant to click on. Download sanitary project. I'm going to open that up. And since I don't have the template on the device already, it's warning me, hey, you don't have the right template on the device. You want to download that from the cloud. I do, so I'm going to go ahead and download that template. Or I'm going to open that up. Oh, not sure what's going on here. Why? Here we go. There we go. If I don't like the map that I'm seeing, I can come into our display, and we have a choice of the Bing maps, a number of maps, Google Maps. You can switch to a satellite view if you want. I'm going to stick with the Google Maps. You can turn your point names on and off so they display. Auto scroll, so if you prefer to have auto scroll on, I always do. I'm going to start my GPS. And anytime you see one of these little triangles somewhere on the screen, that means that there's more features behind this button. If you touch and hold this button, it will bring up another menu item for you. Here you can check your positions, your sky plot. You can change between how you want to collect your data. You can set up a continuous topo with based on the time. You can or distance. You can collect a single point or do an average. Here you can set up your VRS network, and if you're paired with the Catalyst system, you simply just check the Catalyst box, and there's no setup required. It takes care of everything for you at that point. You can start your GNSS. You can set your quality level, how you want to collect your points, the collection mode. And again, here's your real-time corrections and your coordinate system. So you can set a project up if you get a call, and the office didn't have time. You can set up your project on your device in the field, and when you're done collecting, upload that back to the cloud for the office to view and start working on. My cursor is red right now because my quality is probably set to survey grade, and I'm using satellites here in the office. So now I want to collect some data, and you can see we have the select eye features here. You touch and hold it here, it brings up that list. This is the pages I was talking about. So you can categorize those however you want. You can set up boundaries or utilities or however you want to easily find your features that you want to collect. So I'm going to collect the sanitary manhole. I'm going to free node that. Set one here. Where's my attribution box? Oh, I'm having setting my attribution box that's popped up for me. I'm not sure what happened there. Let's try that. You have the snapping mode, so when you're drawing pipes, you can snap to the features that you want the pipe to start and stop at. I draw a pipeline in that pipe. Right here we have the option to end it. Oh, I'm having some difficulties here this morning. Yes. My apologies. This was all working last night when I was testing all this stuff. What I should have gotten was an attribution box that popped up. I'm back out of this. I didn't like something I've done here. So I'm going to go back to my first project and see if I did something wrong on that setup. I'm going to go to topo, up to my future tree. So there we go. This is what should have happened. So attribution pops up here. I go through the list. Answer the questions, select OK, and then I can come in and add another I feature. I want to add a utility and add a gas line here, like so. In the line. Once I end the line, it brings up your attribution box for you to fill out. I'll just quickly add these. I mentioned earlier COGO features. Here we have some of the COGO features, chain and offset, and you can extend the horizontal line, create points from bilateration, create some construction lines to work off of. I'll just give a quick demo of the chain and offset. I want to select my first reference point here, my second reference point here. I want to go along the chain, say 100 feet. Check that. And then I want to go offset from that, we'll say 200 feet. Do that here and accept it. You can see it's created a point for me right here. So if I'm on a construction site and the contractor wants me to set X, Y, and Z that I don't have currently in my data, I can use my drawing or points that I've already collected in the field to create new points to work off of, to do some staking off of. There we have that point. So then once I'm completed my project, yeah, finish my line. I don't like it when I don't do that. The system needs to sync first before I can upload it. Once I've uploaded or completed the project, I'll upload it to the cloud or Trimble Connect. Oops. So I can open up that file. I can check my coordinate system. I should have my results files in here. I guess I gotta give it a minute to get caught up with me. And like I mentioned, in Trimble Connect, I want to go into this. I keep getting this, we're not connected. Is it me or is it? Yeah. Let me reload this. Oh. I seem to be offline.
Got a couple of questions, Jeff. You can answer.
Yeah.
If you can answer anytime if you want
to. When will Penmap be available to work with the TDC 100? It currently works with the TDC 100. Once the release is available for download, you can install it on the TDC 100. The only thing with the TDC 100, it does not support towers. That's still true. Yes, Jason's shaking his head yes. But if you use that, then you'll definitely need to use one of the other R-Series receivers. Will Penmap be integrated with Teraflex, or will they remain two separate products? If so, what are the main differences regarding UPS? I'm not sure what UPS is. There are no plans to integrate Penmap with Teraflex at this time. For me, the big difference between the two, Penmap does a lot of the traditional survey workflows that a surveyor is used to, where Teraflex doesn't offer that. Penmap offers the intuitive map feature that you can work right off the map, which Teraflex is more is a form-based workflow, where surveyors may prefer to be able to switch back and forth between the traditional survey and in the GIS that they perform. Surveyors aren't doing GIS work every day. I would definitely highly recommend for GIS professionals, TerraFlex over the Penmap. The next question is, oh my,
You're back on.
I see I'm back on, okay. So I'll go back to this and I'll get back to the questions here in a minute. I can come underneath here, I can see my results files. Open up my results folders or files from my upload. Here it is here. The Penmap, I can, and then once that's complete, I can come into my project manager, come into this. But need to quit doing that. Refresh this. Now this says the status of this project is complete. I can go into this and then I can download, I can export out a CSV file that can be imported into a TBC or CAD or whatever software that you're using. I can export a shapefile so I can bring this right into my ArcMap project, or I can spit out another Penmap project file if I need more work done or I want to share that data with other field crews in the field. So that's the components, the walkthrough. So I'll just spend some time answering the questions. When will we have a perpetual license? We don't currently have a professional license, and I'm not sure when we will. I think we're talking about that now and seeing what that looks like.
Yeah, I mean, the Penmap can be sold for a period of months as well. So if you want to sell it, at 2 years worth of a subscription at a time, you can. So there is some flexibility in how the licensing is working, but it is a subscription model only today.
Can Penmap be located on an internal server? And is this?
So I think the question is, can it be installed on premise? And the answer to that is no. It uses Trimble Connect exclusively, and that's the way it's set up today. There are some potential to have a direct connect, but it's from a workflow standpoint, it's a pain. You have to connect your phone up to your desktop and move files manually and stuff like that, and that's definitely not a workflow that we're trying to promote. So everything is based on the cloud today.
Let's see. Are those team members required to have a Penmap account? Any team member is going to be required to have a Trimble ID. That doesn't cost anything, but Penmap is one subscription per user. So if you have multiple users, you're going to have, if you have 5 users, you're going to have 5 subscriptions, and they will have to have a Trimble ID to be able to log in. How do you handle data transformations for real-time in the software? I'm not sure how to answer that. It's technical. The engine that processes it uses the Android device engine to process the real-time data transformations. I'm not sure I'm giving you a good answer here. I might need to get back with you on that question. Can you import schema from Esri? At this time, we can't do a geodatabase XML. It's just shapefiles. You bring in a shapefile, and you can edit that shapefile. You can add tables, attributes to that shapefile, or you can just strictly use the one that's provided to you or what you already have. Is it possible to use a custom geoid in Penmap? Yes, you can. If you have a geoid model you want to use, you can bring that into Penmap. Or if you've been using 12A and you don't have 12B and you set up your project to use 12B, Penmap actually recognizes that and will go and download that automatically for you. If you create your own Penmap geoid, you'll have to bring that in your project setup. You cannot import a feature code library at the moment for iFeatures or a DDF or GIS features tables. That's something that I've been thinking about and want to hopefully get integrated into Penmap moving forward. That's some of the feedback I definitely could use when we start doing some of the dealer and customer visits. Are you allowed to upload your own background map? Yes, you can upload DXF shapefiles, DWGs. At this time, you cannot upload JPEGs or PNGs or any type of ortho photos. Does Penmap allow staking of stations on a line and offset? It does. I didn't run through that workflow, but you can go in and set up your construction lines and stake your stations and line and offsets. Will Penmap replace TerraSync? I think I want to have Jason answer that question.
They're fundamentally different applications. I think the roadmap for TerraFlex is to include the functionality that TerraSync offered. So the current roadmap on TerraFlex is to continue to implement the features necessary to effectively replace TerraSync. So Penmap is a different tool. It's really targeted at different users. While it has some GIS functionality, it has a lot of survey functionality in it as well. And we're really looking to bring Penmap, into some of the markets that we haven't been able to reach, whether it's augmenting our existing applications that we have out in a particular workforce, or if it's going after developing countries where we can bring in a lower cost solution that does just what they need to do from a GNSS perspective in a survey or land administration type workflow.
Thank you, Jason. Will Penmap work standalone? I didn't mention earlier, you can use it offline, but once you're back online, the only way to pass the data is through the cloud. So we are currently looking at how we can get around that. As Jason mentioned, with a perpetual license, we know there's customers out there that won't be able to take advantage of the cloud. You mentioned setting up 2 points to run total station. Well, no, Penmap does not support total station at this time. Will it change the access in the future?
I think that means will it change Trimble access in the future? No, Trimble access is our full-featured survey application suite, basically. Penmap is a entry-level Android application, as I mentioned, targeting certain audiences. So while there's some basic overlap in functionality, that's the extent of it. You're not going to be able to get everything. We're not going to have a full Kogo library. We're not going to have all the support, for scanners and everything else that Trimble Access has.
So is it possible to define an arbitrary coordinate system the way we do with Coordinate System Manager? Penmap, you don't have the ability to create your own coordinate system. You do have to use what's available in the Trimble geodetic library. Although if you do have an arbitrary coordinate system, you do have the ability in Penmap to do a site calibration, so you could bring your coordinates to that coordinate system, or I'm sorry, WGS to a local coordinate system, for example. But at this time, there's not the ability. We don't have the ability to create your own coordinate system. Can dealers get free demo license? Yes, you can. If you send me your email information, I have the ability to set you up with a demo license. Can one use own maps? No, you cannot bring in TIFFs, as I mentioned before, JPEGs, PNGs, World, Mr. SID files, or anything like that at this point. Just you're limited to the list that I showed with the Google Maps and the Bing Maps and the satellite images. Penmap is for real-time surveyors only? No, not post-processing files. There is no post-processing in TBC with Penmap. It is all real time. When exporting data, can you choose the export coordinate system? No. What the coordinate system that you set it up in is the coordinate system that it will be exported out in. We do not have the ability to choose another one. Can you import a feature code? I answered that. No, we cannot import a feature code library. Now, the workaround for that is if you export a CSV, you can bring the CSV into TBC, and as long as your codes match, if you're using the same code you typically use with Access, then you can process that CSV with those codes and to create your line work. Job XML and file sheets exports in the future. I don't know about the file sheets, but the job XML is definitely something that I'm looking at. Can you stake to a line? I believe you can stake to a line, but don't hold me to that. I want to look into that one. I know we can stake lines. Yes, we can stake to a line. I don't know why I said that. Can we connect sensors to Penmap like Terrasec? At this right now, we can just connect GNSS receivers. I'm thinking you're asking like rangefinder or something like that. There's no ability to connect sensors to Penmap. Can we log static data? You can log static data, but you don't get a log file. Right now, it's something that I would like to see in the future is the ability to save your raw data. So one of the features that Penmap has over Terraflex would be the staking of points and lines and navigation function. That would be correct. Can you log raw GPS data? No, you cannot. You cannot log raw GPS data. Does it support offline caching of the Google or Bing Maps? Not sure what they're asking there. Is that
basically the question is can they store the map data offline and cache it offline? And right now it's real time only.
okay?
So you have to have a data connection, with the exception of if you import, shapefile or plans and stuff like that, you can use that.
Right, and you don't have to work online. You can work offline and you collect your data and do your job all day long. And then when you're back in the area where you have coverage, you can go back online and then upload your data.
I think Mel's question is what's the base map functionality when you're offline?
Okay. What kind of features are available? Disabled in freemium mode. The freemium mode, I didn't mention. You saw that when I had that up. I had to log out. In the freemium mode, you have full functionality with Penmap. You just can't connect an external receiver or upload your data to the cloud.
Or create customized feature templates and stuff like that.
You can't create your schemas or iFeatures. Exports with QC data, GNSS quality timestamp. At this time, you can do timestamps. We don't have the QC data and the GNSS quality. We're working with the TBC team to be able to add that in the future. Yes, it does it have navigation tools? Yes, we do have navigation tools. Wow. Well, that's all the questions that I have. We do have a few minutes left if there are any more questions or if there's something someone would like to see before we go. Eric, yes, I haven't forgotten about you. I have you on my list. I will get you a demo probably before the end of this week. Is area calculation function available? I don't think it is. I'm gonna have to get back with that on with you. I know we have area capabilities. I just haven't played with it as much as I probably should have. So I will check into that one and get back with you. The connect sensors Penmap question, no, we cannot connect external sensors other than GNSS receivers to Penmap. Can you get this recording on ASAP? Felicity saying yes, you can. Thanks, you're welcome. Can you display the email address we need to contact? Oh, I can't do that. PowerPoint. I'll put it right here. I almost typed my Wolford email address. Make it bigger. That's my, if you email me at that address and let me know you're interested, I can set you up with a demo license. You need to add, yes. Yeah, send me an email and I can give you a description, or I'll send you an email back how you set that up. Okay, if there's not any more questions, then we'll go ahead and adjourn. Again, I thank everyone for attending and listening to my presenter voice. Thanks again. Have a good day wherever you are.